Yes, people. What's going on? Ziga Talks Football. We are back again with another video. Today's vibe from the 6. We're going to be looking at the Club World Cup. We're going to be giving our predictions for the Club World Cup. We're going to be talking about Tottenham. They are suing Manchester United. Not only are they suing Manchester United, they're about to hijack one of their top targets this summer. Absolutely crazy scenes in North London when Tottenham end up doing that. That is nuts. Also, I'm going to have to speak about Nico Williams. I'm going to have to speak about GYOKERES. We're going to talk about it. Nico Williams has me really pissed off right now. That guy has me fuming. We're going to talk about it. Chelsea fumbled 2 transfers that they were looking to get sorted in the summer transfer window just before the Club World Cup. Over 5 million. They didn't get who they wanted. Over 5 million. What are we doing? Forza, why are you asking me a silly question? You know the answer, bro. You know the answer, bro. You know the answer. Let's not even get into politics, but you know the answer, bro. I'm supporting the Ummah, bro. And then Florian Wirtz. Florian Wirtz, the pressure is on Liverpool to deliver with Florian Wirtz. Now that they have the record midfield signing of all time in the Premier League. Crazy. But before we go any further, I'm going to add some of the panelists. Right now, we have Rack in the building. Welcome, Rack. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're everything is all smile for you. You're looking like you're ready for the summertime shine with Florian Wirtz and everybody. And you get to sit back, relax. You don't have to worry about your players playing the Club World Cup. You get to sit back, have your players on the beach for a little bit until the season starts.
That's true. That's true. Igal did offer to give me another guard of honor today, but I said, you know what? Let's just enough for the guard of honors. We need to move on. We need to go into the transfer window. We need to look forward towards next season. I don't dwell on the past. And my guy got signed today. The arguably the biggest star that will be signed in this transfer window anywhere in the world, and he's going to be a Liverpool player. So I'm happy, man. I'm happy.
Not true.
Huh?
If Rodrygo joins Arsenal, that's a bigger sign.
Listen, no. He's the best player, voted twice Players' Player of the Season in Germany. The best player in the whole division we've signed.
All right. Let's add next. Today, Spurs got a major part in the show. So Jay, welcome. In case you don't know, Spurs are suing Manchester United, and your manager is raiding Brentford for 2 of their best players and about to hijack Manchester United's deal for Brian MBEUMO for £70 million. Crazy day for you. You got a lot to talk about today.
I mean, so now you want to talk about us. European champions, you don't want to talk about us. Bid for MBEUMO. We're on the marquee. It's like I'm not really taking the MBEUMO stuff that seriously. Like, it's not coming from.
We're gonna get there though.
Yeah, we'll get there. But yeah, interesting. Manager's been announced. We'll get into that. But yeah, very interesting week. Romero had his little dig.
Oh, I didn't even speak about that. Yeah, you're right. I gotta talk.
So plenty to discuss. But yeah, interesting week.
Let's get into it. Next, Chelsea fumbled the bag on 2 transfers going into the coming out of that small Club World Cup break. 10 days, you had to get 2 deals done. Your club failed, bro. We're gonna talk about it in a second. But Chelsea fumbled 2 bags. Hope you're doing well, Ahmed. How's everything?
I'm doing well, man.
You looking forward to a Club World Cup?
I mean, it's a Club World Cup, to be honest. It's just an extra tournament, really.
It's the most expensive tournament in football history.
It's just money. For me, I'm just looking at it monetarily, man. I'm not even looking at it from a cup perspective, in my personal opinion.
Okay.
But in terms of transfers, man, I mean, we didn't really fumble, but two transfers realistic necessarily. One of them we're still negotiating as of right now. Just that we weren't able to do it in time, I'll probably say.
All right. You know what? Let's start with Chelsea. Bro, you did have a disaster class in the first 10 days. Your goal as a club was to get 2 players in, Gittens and the keeper, and you came out of that 10 days with neither. What were they doing?
No, really. The keeper, again, if you're to believe the club, the keeper was just an opportunity. And I think, listen, realistically, if the club believes that they can still get him at his price just later on in the summer, then you know what? I hear it on that in terms of that. You know what? If you're willing to wait and say we're gonna go back in for you later on the window, fair enough. In my personal opinion, he's only worth 20 M's. I would have just gone and got him for 20M straight away, personally, if that was me. But if they believe they can get for 12.6 million, maybe 1 month down the line, fair enough. I think obviously with Gittens, it was just a matter of obviously, you know, the structure of the deal they didn't like. But again, we're probably gonna have him by the knockout stages of the Club World Cup. Yes, we didn't do it well in the first 10 days, but again, the window's opening on Monday. So, you know, it's not the end of the world.
I know that, but one thing, the difference between 5 million for Mike Maignan, if I'm not mistaken, 5 million euros or pounds, whatever. How much?
Either, bro. It can be either, to be honest.
I'm pretty sure it's pounds, right? 5 million pounds.
No, because if it was in pounds, it would be 7 point. What's it called?
So it was 5 million euros was the difference between you having Robert Sanchez for the group stages of the Club World Cup or having Mike Maignan. If that's the difference between you guys advancing into a better stage in the
do you know who we have on our group stage? Just out of curiosity, guys.
You have a Brazilian team, Flamingo. Who else?
Club America and LAFC. You see what I mean? Like we can, like again, you can really listen. I know I'm not. Listen, I'm a bit more of a negative guy in general, but you can really wait until the knockouts to get him, bro, if you wanted to. And even then, you know, again, I think for me, he's a guy that you know he's gonna go for free next summer. You know what I mean? Yes, maybe the 20 million will maintain it in terms of value, but listen, we will get that. We will probably get him at 12.6 as the club wants.
I just think it's a club that has spent so much money on keepers over the last 10 years. To get a keeper so highly rated and 5 million euros is the line where you draw the line, to me is kind of silly because
is he so highly rated? Like I think he's okay.
I feel like he is. I think it's not like he. I don't think he had the best season last season, but I think up until last season, his stock had been like rising to a point where he was seen as like one of the world's best.
I would also argue, just to add to James' point here, like the defense he had in front of him for AC Milan was shocking as well. You know what I mean? Like it was really bad. Like the defenders that they have there, it's not great either. So like,
just as basically like if you look at like a Garcia, that's a goalie where you're not haggling over the 5 million. Do you know what I mean? You're just buying him. I see the point.
We freaking haggled. Edu, you have blood on your hands, Edu.
No, I mean, the thing with that is, the thing with that, Igal, is I thought about it actually, and I was like, nah, I don't think you really do, because basically it comes down to this. At the time, you had to buy the player, because for that player, what's the incentive for him to sign for you and go on loan back to his club? Do you know what I mean? As in, like, he can just wait till next summer and see what clubs come in for him. So I wouldn't blame. I think you had to do the deal there and then, and maybe you didn't. There wasn't as much data on him as there is now. You should have gambled the 25, based off what we know now. But at the time, don't act like your fan base wasn't like 25 million on a backup keeper. We need attackers.
No, you know something? Forget what my fan base think. This would have been a Courtois Petr situation. We missed out on the potential.
Or it could be an Alisson Mamardashvili situation.
Or it could be like a Leno Ramsdale.
We could create all these
situations.
Whatever
you say. I'm talking about a potential generational keeper going to Barcelona for 25 million euros when Arsenal could have had him last window. I'm fuming, but I think Chelsea fans in one breath should be calm, but in the other breath they should be looking at the club being like, you had 10 days to get deals done. Man City got 3 deals done in those 10 days. You couldn't get one.
As I've said before, I already know what these guys are like. They're not great negotiators, so I'm not surprised they've not got deals done in 10 days. So for me, it's not really like a surprising aspect of stuff. For me, I'm waiting to see how the window plays out, because these guys just do better over time, sadly, than they do in short periods, because they're poor negotiators. Because they're either great at folding or just great at getting people at their prices. It's never the in between. So you just gotta have to wait and see what happens, sadly.
When was the last time Chelsea got a bargain? Like a player you probably what's his name, right? Ginger from Man City.
And Kunku was supposed to be a bargain.
No, but I mean,
Palmer was a bargain.
Bargain was
Palmer.
But it wasn't
Palmer.
about, at the time, it was a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But that's also
Even
about
I know, obviously, this season he's been quite poor for us, Gusto. But last season he was an absolute bargain because he only brought it for like 20 million at the time, and he was.
That is still cheap for a right back of his age, regardless of it going up and down. Like,
I guess though the question is that a bargain just because if you sign 15, 20 players, law of averages says you're going to get some bargains in there, but just like.
You say that they got Tosin on a free, and I'm out here like, just about value for money.
You know what I mean? Oh my god.
He's laughing because it's true. It's like
Listen, man.
Like
if you know me, you know I'm not a big Gusto fan, so
that's
just
what
a
I'm saying.
big
Like, he
Tosin
was
fan.
free, and you're not even like, oh yeah, what a signing. You're like, okay, well, he was free.
Yeah, listen. At the end of the day, guys, the window's open again. Tomorrow is the window's closed, and then the next day is open again. So transfer season is not ended yet, guys. You know what I mean? It's only just starting. That's why for me, I'm not really having issue with this.
I think the lap is a good, like, basically with a signing like the lap at 30 million, you can't lose.
You can't lose value on him.
Even if he flops, you could still sell him for 40.
Exactly.
So it's like, I feel like that's a good one for Chelsea. And also, if you actually think about it, Chelsea can potentially play. Chelsea can potentially play.
Oh man,
with
to get you, Jay, man.
No, I live quite near a hospital, which I didn't know when I bought this house. They probably told me.
Igal got so worried he's left the stream.
He's left.
I'll say, like, if you look at Delap, obviously he starts. Jackson can play left wing as well, so it's not like Chelsea have no options. Gui's available, and Kunku's still there. Like, they have some options. It's not totally like, I guess Bino Gittens, if they'd started higher, they might have done the deal. Like, it sounds like they ran out of time because they
can still revisit that, right? They can still
revisit anything. It's just, the thing is like, I think they'll get Bino Gittens. The thing with Chelsea is they're trying to build a squad that can play like all 4 competitions. They went out of both domestic cups fairly early, and they were able to rotate in the Conference League a lot of the season. So I actually am interested in how robust their squad will be when you're asking them to play multiple times, and how good some of the squad is. So I think Chelsea do need to do work, and I think that, like, I think they need to improve the first team. That when having been in this situation as a fan, when you don't improve the first team, like, you're kind of improving the squad, but the quality level doesn't go up when you play more games. So they need to get 1 or 2 players into the first team, but they've got a good first team. So
one thing I will say,
I think the goalkeeper makes a big difference.
Well, one thing I will say,
a new left winger.
Yeah, one thing I will say that is that I think the club is looking for actual guys to improve the first team. Like, they are targeting obviously another striker, hopefully to be a starter for the team, another attacker, but excluding Gittens in that 10 to wing role again. That's going to be a starter for the team. And starting right centre back now alongside Cole because of Fafana not being trusted, and even the goalkeeper now, Maignan. So I do think the club's actually taken a much more active approach in signing stuff that the first team needs now more than anything else.
Also, there's going to be quite a few. It seems like there's going to be quite a few outgoings from Chelsea as well. Like,
they actually left the guys that are leaving the club, barring maybe and Nkunku. Barring Nkunku, said he's also going to leave, but I think it's more so a fact of, like, they're trying to obviously move him on, if that makes sense.
I have 2 questions. Number 1, what's going on with Petrovic, or whatever his name is?
Petrovic, you mean?
Whatever his name is, I forgot.
To say Petrovic, bro, it's very easy.
How do you say it? Petrovic.
1 minute.
Petrovic. That's it.
Wait. Igal's got some unique. He's got some unique pronunciation of some names. There's one brilliant one.
Not Petrovic. Is this Petrovic? Yeah, Petrovic, bro. The T is not acting.
Petrovic.
Yeah, so yeah, Petrovic. That's it. It's Petrovic. That's what you have to say. Vic.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
shout out to all the Serbians.
Big up to them. But no, it seems that the club is just sees him as a flip and they're trying to move him on, which is very sad because I'm a big fan of Petrovic. He had a great season in Liga and was the best goalkeeper there. He actually improved as well, which is a key thing I always talk about. He's on the ball work. He's gone a lot better. He's probably one of the best in Europe now in terms of passing out the back and doing that sort of thing in terms of his age group too. So it's just a shame, man. We have not given this guy a chance because sadly we cannot move on a goalkeeper that's bold, that's called Robert Sanchez, because no one in the market wants him.
Oh damn! You think that's the reason why they're having to sell
Petrovic? I really think is that, and something that I've spoken to you guys about is that if you look at Petrovic, a particular day and age where transfers are done by data, right? Sanchez's data is abysmal. He's got 5 arrogant leading to goal just in one season. He's got his short pass percentage is very poor. His long ball percentage, is very poor. And if you look at his saving rate, percentage saves and stuff like that, it's quite poor. So that's why if any team that just uses has a day and in the team is going to be stay far away from this guy basically.
Also, you guys are linked to 2 meter tall Nick Woltemade.
Woltemade.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know much. He had a breakout season again this year.
6'6", bro, crazy.
The thing about these, I think about Woltemade. The thing about Delap is that
ekitike.
I'm gonna say it because ekitike is not. I'm not including this in the sense that they're not the same archetype. They're very similar archetypes, which is my main issue. I know we're going for this number 2 guy, but we'll see a lot more happens. With Chelsea right now, bro, I'm going to tell you, once the window opens on the 16th, we'll see what we're about.
Woltemade, Cold Feet is saying. Woltemade.
My apologies then. Thanks for clarifying.
I don't speak German. So.
Hey, I'm as good as I shall speed at pronouncing some of these names.
Oh my God.
But next, so that's enough about Chelsea. But before we go on to the Club World Cup, hopefully Vader can get here in time for that. I wanted to talk about Arsenal quickly. And Rodrygo's linked to you too. So wait. But before we go there,
who's you?
Before we Chelsea. But before we go any further, ekitike is linked to Liverpool and Chelsea and Manchester United. What's going on with ekitike?
You know what I think's happening? The agent is trying to. I think the club itself is trying to now create a buzz because obviously I don't know if Liverpool's gone in yet. Obviously, maybe we've got a lot of Liverpool fan to tell us if they've made a move yet. But I think the thing is, Chelsea fans, Chelsea, when they're under pressure, if you put them under the right amount of pressure, we capitulate in terms of transfers. If you really, really want the pressure, that's what happens. You know what I mean? Sadly, that's our modus operandi. That's our modus operandi. Sadly, you know what I mean?
Eintracht Frankfurt are trying to fake Chelsea out. It's like,
you know what I mean? They're trying to do another Casemiro situation. Or we just have to capitulate and just pay the money. That's what's happening right now. You know what I mean?
I think the thing with ekitike is I think sometimes when you get a player that the club is very happy for the player to stay. Do you know what I mean? There isn't, and the player's not overly pushing. Obviously his agent's doing some chat, but the players. They'll play Champions League next season. He's in a good place. They got 70 million euros, I think it was for Marmoush. They're going to want a little bit more for him. So I'm if you look at it, if they're willing to let him go for 75, 80 million, there's obviously going to be teams because that's kind of the going rate. Spurs were paying 60, 65 for Solanke last season. That's the new norm, as it were, for strikers. So Arsenal are about to pay 80 million euros for Sesko. So it's the way I look at it is they have a value where they know it's almost like chicken and the egg as well, because if Sesko goes first, they're not selling ekitike for less than Sesko. Impossible. So you're keeping an eye on the Arsenal valuation of Sesko and obviously looking at Leipzig and vice versa. Leipzig are looking at Frankfurt and seeing what are they charging, so we'll know what to charge. So with that, he's a good player. He profiles well against other strikers of his age. he's pretty proven. If you look at him versus other, lots to improve, but he's a good player. If 80 million gets him, it's about who wants to take the risk. And it's like, if 80 million gets him and it's still 75, 80 million that gets him next season, then maybe people want to just let him, season a little bit more. Like, why not?
It depends. This is why Sesko's value is a bit strange, right? Because I think potentially you could have got Sesko for 50 odd million euros last summer. Leipzig had a much worse season. They didn't even get European football.
45.
Yeah. And Sesko, at least numbers wise, had a worse season. His role was different. So that also maybe have something to do with it. But his price seems to have gone up. I think
it's because of his contract, by the way. It's because he signed a new deal. That's the reason why his price is up. It's not. Even...
He had a previous release clause of 45.
That's why.
That's why. But yeah, what
ultimately is what someone is willing to pay for him, right? Like if the release clause is a certain amount that no one is, people don't think is, unless you're it's good value, unless you're desperate, you're not going to pay it.
Guys, we're getting crazy information right now. But before we go any further, let's talk about the next thing, guys. Arsenal. Nico Williams basically told Bayern Munich, Chelsea, Arsenal, the price is this. I need more than what I'm currently getting at Atletico Bilbao to leave.
That's not true. Apparently, just told Barca that he's willing to reduce their wages.
No, only Barcelona did he say, I'm willing to lower my wages.
Yeah, he's violating. I'll be honest. If you're a serious club, then you gotta move on from that, man. Because
I am so mad right now because my club spent 1 second.
As a club, Barcelona are a different level though.
No. But Arsenal Football Club spent well over.
Oh, that's cheeky. There. Well over cheeky. There.
1 second. Arsenal Football Club spent over a year notioning this guy speaking.
That's a bit cheeky. Sorry,
take it away.
You know what it is, man. Listen, I'll be honest with you, man. You're my guy. You know what I'll say. I'll say this straight up. When you hear I'm only willing to reduce my wages for a certain club, that means, bro, it's time for you to pull out, bro. He's not really serious about you. You know
I wanted to pull out when he got a new deal. I said to them, fuck off, get somebody else.
Yeah, he's not serious about it.
He was willing to
use... Then why are you pissed off? And why are you pissed off about it?
Because Nico Williams, for 1 year plus, we've been hearing Arteta loves Nico Williams. The scouting team love Nico Williams. We're going to wait for the right player. We don't know about how much wages he wants, but he wants more than what he's currently getting. He was getting 60K last year. He raised his wages from 60K a week to 200K euros a week, and we should have got the memo when he did that he doesn't want to come to us because he was willing to increase his wages to a ridiculous amount and stay at his boyhood club Atletico Bilbao. Now he's willing to take less than what he's currently making to go to Barcelona and play and fight for his place. Where at Arsenal, at Chelsea, at Bayern Munich, he's pretty much guaranteed a starting spot almost.
But you have to pay the release. You have to pay the release clause to get
the release clause is pennies to the dollar compared to what he's worth.
What's the release clause? What's the release clause?
50 million.
Is it?
50 million euros. Yeah.
Yes, it is. The problem with him.
I mean, I don't know about pennies.
The problem with him,
he's worth way more than 45 million.
Right. The problem is, it's not even his release clause. The reason why all these other clubs are finding it hard is because of his price, right? His actual wage. His wages. Right? Because it's all you can really slap the money down for the release clause, but then the moment you come to then negotiate the wage of him, if he's asking for exorbitant fees as well, then it's kind of like you're starting to lose value there, basically.
I'm thinking about changing the title to Nico Williams taking the piss, but I'm worried I'm gonna get flagged.
But why are you worried about it? You should have forget about it last season. Now you're like, if he doesn't want to come, it's better that you know now. It's better. It's good. It's good.
Barcelona basically said, "Hold my beer, Arsenal," because going into the transfer window,
we don't condone drinking on this channel, by the way.
No, because we don't condone that. Going into the transfer window, you know what they did? The transfer window, they said Arsenal are so far advanced in speaking to some of these people. We're shocked that every person we speak to has some sort of conversation or some sort of link to Arsenal. Zubimendi they wanted. He's already agreed to deal to Arsenal. They wanted Garcia. Garcia already has a pre-agreement to join Arsenal if nobody else comes in for him.
One of the things.
Nico Williams.
What the hell did you say?
We had a pre-agreement. We had a pre-agreement.
But Rats, before you go in, like,
go on.
Igal, listen, you're talking to players, right? You're talking to players. City have signed 4 or 5 players. Liverpool signed 2-3 players. Yeah, you signed Zubimendi, but you ain't even signed him yet, right? So I'm looking at you. I'm saying, all right.
No, he's done.
Tell me this.
He's done. Same way Florian Wirtz is done.
Okay, well, it's not announced. Yeah. So
Florian Wirtz is not announced. We can't talk about him either.
Right, but obviously, is Zubimendi going to be announced anytime soon?
Zubimendi is going to be announced July 1st.
Okay, cool. So not anytime soon. So you've signed a player, but you've not announced it, but no one's
the transfer window is technically closed right now.
Yeah, but you can announce anything. You can still sign the documentation. You can still sign the documentation.
We have.
Okay, but then you can announce him. And so then the deal will be completed on the first
Igal, listen, yeah, like I'm just looking at this from the point of view of like, I don't really think you're doing particularly like Zubimendi was done a year ago, whatever. Like, what have you done that requires praise or even acknowledgement of quality? Like, do you know what I mean? I'm not even talking about praising you. I'm even like, I don't even see you've done anything for me to even be like, oh, Arsenal are doing good. You ain't doing nothing. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, our window hasn't started yet in the grand scheme of it.
But my thing is, you said why all these players are being linked with Arsenal, right? And all these players are also talking to other clubs. But the thing that you said was fantastic about Andrea Berta is that he's talking to lots of players. So if he's talking to lots of players, that's the reason, part of the reason why you're getting linked with so many players. And you praised him for that. But now when they're not coming to Arsenal, or they're also, the players are doing the same thing. They're not just speaking to Arsenal, they're speaking to Barcelona, they're speaking to Man United, they're speaking to Liverpool, you can't have it both ways. That's the way the transfer window goes. You're praising Andrea Berta, but you're condoning, or so you're criticizing other players for doing the same thing, which is a bit hypocritical.
You know what? I don't think you're wrong, but at the same time,
you think I'm right?
At the same time, I think Arsenal are cooking up a storm behind the scenes. And what makes me think that is because we do have our hands in a lot of pies, and there's nothing wrong with that. What I am disappointed in is not that we haven't signed a player by June 13th.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
I'm not disappointed by that. I'm not one of these people who are upset about the window. By the way, last year the window didn't even open until June 14th. So in the grand scheme of things, it's really just open because of the Club World Cup. It's not the end of the world. What I am disappointed in is that we've chased a player for well over a year, the summer last year, the January window this year, and now this summer, and he's basically told us, go fuck yourselves. I'm going to Barcelona for less, and I don't really want to come to you guys.
This is the one thing I've always said, yeah. Even though I know some of my fans may not be big fans of Gittens, even I myself may not be a big fan of Gittens necessarily right now, I credit my club for at least saying, okay, if he's not coming, who's the other target that I've got on my list here that I want to get right now? That's the one thing I can at least credit my club with, right? Because then I'm not dilly-dallying over Nico Williams. I'm not dilly-dallying over a possibility of whether or not Rodrygo is going to be available or not. Because, you know, I can't necessarily take that chance now because it will only hurt, right? My preparations for the season, right? Whether or not he even comes in. If I lose out on him, I'm now panic buying. I'm having to pay a premium now on any other number 2 winger, number 3 winger that I have on my list now. Because clubs know you're desperate for.
This guy's positive about everything. You want to know something? Maybe I am. But at the same time, maybe there's too much fear-mongering and anger about things that are irrelevant. Like today, I seen somebody getting angry that Liverpool signed Florian Wirtz and we haven't announced anybody yet. You know something? They haven't announced it. Has Liverpool Football Club shown him holding the shirt?
No, but the thing is, but you're also getting angry about Barcelona and thingy. So you're also getting angry, but about different things. Like
I'm getting angry at the
everybody should chill out.
audacity.
Everybody
Bro,
should just chill
one
out.
second. I'm getting at the audacity for somebody to say, you know what? I'm willing to come to you for 300K a week, but I'm willing to go to Barcelona for less than what I'm currently on.
You know what I would say to you?
People have been doing that to Man United for years. What are you talking about?
Yeah, man. There's people that have done that for your own club too, by the way. There'll probably be the guys that you know that did that for your own club too. That's how they did it for maybe other
saying
clubs.
Eagle South Park 2.0. No, you're taking the piss.
What does that mean?
You know what I will say to you though, Eagle, yeah. I will say this. You know, my club, for example, they said that they want to get all their incomings done by the end of June, right? And if they don't do that sort of thing, I can then hold them to the standard they've committed themselves to. I don't know what your club has said in terms of when the incomings should be coming in by. Let me give you an update. So Kepa's done, Zubimendi's done. Those two are in the bag. Deals agreed with the clubs and the players. Everything has been signed. We're just waiting to announce it. So Kepa, Zubi, done. Okay. Those are the first two transfers for Arsenal's window.
Oh,
then
shiver my timbers. Is that what's that?
Kepa and Zubi are done. The next thing, Gabriel Magalhaes signed. Gabby signed a new deal. Gabriel Magalhaes signed a new deal. Saka's going to be signing a new deal. Ethan's going to be signing a new deal. Miles Lewis-Skelly's going to be signing a new deal. So then the next thing they're going to be doing is signing new deals. Now in the background, then you have the team of people looking to sign new players. You got Gyökeres, Sesko conversations, and the third alternative, if we don't get either, is Ollie Watkins. But Ollie Watkins is very unlikely at this moment in time. Then you have the number one winger option target being Rodrygo, number two being Nico Williams. Now Nico Williams off the table.
So you're getting neither of them.
Both of them are currently at the moment in time.
You're getting neither of them.
You want to know something? I don't really have time for your Rodrygo agenda because
what
if
Rodrygo,
let me finish.
Intervention.
If Rodrygo is to leave this summer, I am willing to guarantee you.
No, but what do you mean? If you've already caveated it with
what are you going to guarantee? You can't guarantee anything.
No, I'm saying if Rodrygo is to leave Real Madrid this season, he's coming to Arsenal.
Okay, cool. And what if he doesn't?
How can you guarantee that though?
Because of all the work we've done already.
And what if he doesn't? And what if he doesn't leave?
If he doesn't leave, then we have to pivot. And in that situation, if he doesn't leave, in that situation, get me both Gyökeres and Sesko. Fuck the winger.
What does that? What?
Yeah.
So you're going to buy two strikers?
That's an appalling way to build a squad, right? That makes absolutely no sense whatsoever.
Change how we play and play with two up top.
Okay, but imagine you've put loads of other pieces in place because this is your plan. Now you're changing the plan because you can't get one player. That's not good squad planning either.
Okay, maybe I'm being illogical. I don't know. I don't know what the winger option is going to be, but I think personally, if get the number 9 sorted, and in the winger situation, if Rodrygo is not leaving, and Nico Williams is already gone to Barcelona or something, in that case, I would pivot to an Eze, Xavi Simons type player who can play in the left wing position and play in the 10, rather than or even like a Morgan Rogers type player, somebody who can play on the left and in the midfield, rather than somebody who's just an out and out winger. Because I don't like a lot of the options I'm hearing. Semenyo is not really moving the needle for me. I don't think Hilal is all that. I think Hilal is actually very overrated. I don't think he's worth the money that people are saying he's worth. Next, I look at some of the left wing options in general. Anthony Gordon, we can all say he's a great player, but he's not coming to Arsenal this summer, and Arsenal is not going to pay the ridiculous money Newcastle want for him. Really and truly, the position that in that left wing, the only two players I think that would move the needle for Arsenal would be Barcola and Rodrygo. If Nico Williams is gone,
why do I need to exist in your fantasy world where players who are not leaving their clubs? No, because players who are not leaving their clubs, who play for arguably on paper teams that are winning Champions Leagues. Yeah,
is here by the way.
You've had 2 years at Nico Williams. Yeah, you ain't got the job done. Barcelona, Bayern, he's going one of those two places. Forget Nico Williams. He's done. Yeah, Rodrygo.
Forget him. I said forget him.
Hold on. Rodrygo, brand new manager. Yeah, brand new manager. Even if he wants to go, who says Alonso lets him go this summer? Yeah, Alonso keeps him for a year. Maybe you get him next season, but right now, nah. So
We'll see after the Club World Cup.
I've got a question.
I'm trying to help you here, Igal, because the thing is, because I know this Arteta guy.
To help you.
I remember when you wanted to get in Jesus, and I told you won't buy another attacker, and you were like, "Oh," I was like, "You won't buy another attacker." I'm telling you now, yeah, you're renewing Trossard. You're not selling Martinelli. You have two players whose best position is left wing, and you are being really vocal that you're going to buy a left winger. I'm looking at the evidence. You have two left wingers, yeah? So me thinking you're going to spend 80 plus million on another left winger, nah, man, I don't see it. It doesn't make sense. If you were, you would have sold Trossard. You would have gone all in on Rodrygo.
You want to know something? There's something called
life.
There's something called
dissonance between what you're saying and what I'm observing in life.
Bro, there's something called squad depth. Manchester City have 8 wingers. We have 4.
I have a question.
Let's bring on the Man City guy then. The Man City guy can tell us how.
Yeah, the Man City guy.
All right, let's bring him on. Vader's here. My bad.
I've got a question. I've got a question though. So, like, after all these shenanigans, it turns out Barcelona don't buy Nico Williams because they buy Luis Diaz instead. Or was that someone they shift their thing? Nico Williams comes back to you and say, you know what? It's all right. I'm going to come to Arsenal. I still want 300 grand a week. I still want 250. Are you taking me, Gal? Are you willing to? You're not taking you anymore. Yeah.
We're not paying him those wages.
What are you paying him?
Those wages.
What are you paying him? The same as Barca.
I would pay those wages for Rodrygo, but I would cap Nico Williams at like a certain level. I don't think Nico Williams is worthy of being the highest paid player at Arsenal right now. He doesn't deserve that kind of clout coming into the team. If he was Kvaratskhelia, if he was Rodrygo, maybe it's different. But let's be honest, I would not break my whole wage structure for Nico Williams. No chance. No chance.
Okay, then. So if that's the case, then you move on.
We move on. Move on. Scouts, do your goddamn job. Hopefully that Argentinian kid who just signed for Real Madrid does an amazing job. And you know something? Kiko Suarez.
Oh my God.
We need to ask I forgot about that. Garnacho, he's available.
If I hear a single Arsenal account trying to big up Garnacho and say, break down why he would fit at Arsenal, why he's a steal, I'm going to absolutely lose my mind. And I guarantee you guys, there is no switching up on it. If Garnacho joins Arsenal, I give up.
You'll do it, Igal. I have faith in you. You'll do it, man.
Believe.
Listen, as soon as that transfer window shuts closed,
the day my club goes to Manchester United and says, "Oh, we'll take Garnacho off your hands," I'm finished. Well,
right, but Igal, my thing is Igal, after 3 years of second places, yeah, like obviously, like you telling me you guys are buying project wingers. Don't you dare buy a project winger.
You know what?
Close the gap.
Won't buy a winger if you can't get a quality winger. Get me somebody like Xavi Simons or Eze who can play 2 positions that are very good in both.
Oh, you don't want to buy a player like Eze because that will mean that one of his favorite players is gonna have to get benched, and Arteta doesn't like. To me, Arteta doesn't like to make these kind of decisions.
Who's gonna get benched?
He's not ruthless.
He's gonna play left wing if he comes to Arsenal.
No, because even you look at players like Ben White, Martinelli. Ben White, look how well Timber played in the season. Yeah, it wasn't until White got injured that Arteta really made the switch. Do you know what I mean? He has a loyalty to his players. Like Martinelli, like he loves it. He's had a lot of opportunity to give him big competition, but he'll only ever buy a project player, a player that's not fully better than him. So I want to see Arteta buy a player who's going to put some of these players out of the first team. Do you know what I mean? Like let's see him. Let's see whether Partey starts on the bench. If
Hey,
you, we're
hearing this from a Tottenham fan who's just hating. I think that's how I got.
No, I'm asking you right now. Who's better, Zubimendi or Partey to you right now?
You know what happens? You know what happens? Partey stays in the team, and you embed Zubimendi in slowly.
Okay, so your team at this point is not better than it was last season.
It would be better because you have something called squad depth.
But that doesn't change the first 11 quality.
Guess what? It changes the quality of the entire team because now you're not as dependent on 11 players. You have adequate backup, so you don't get the same level of injuries, and then you don't get burnt out at the end of the season. And maybe then you can actually win a goddamn title, because when somebody is not burnt out and they're not freaking dying on the pitch every single game because they have somebody else who can cover for them when they need a break, it allows you to go in and compete on more competitions. Simple thing called squad depth. And Vader's team, Man City, have kind of mastered it with the amount of quality they have in their team.
Okay, no problem. No problem.
Let's talk about Vader though. Vader, how you doing, bro? I seen you on your channel. Guys, go check it out. Vader Games.
CIA, City Intelligent Agendas. Be there or be square.
He did. No, it's called NCIA now. It's called NCIA, the newest city intelligence agents, right? Then he had a topic of discussion that most people don't speak about, and I just wanted to throw it in there quickly before we talk about Liverpool and Man City, because the Spurs section deserves a lot of talk, and we're going to talk about that in a second also. But he wanted to speak about Liverpool winning the league had a 17% reduction in TV viewers figures. Is that your title in your most recent video?
Yeah.
Where'd you get that information from?
You know what?
It was publicized yesterday. 10%. Oh, I thought it was 10%. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe that's.
Yeah,
that's
you're probably wrong, Max. You're probably wrong.
No,
you're gonna remember the smaller numbers.
Athletic.
Yeah, the Athletic.
Oh no, it was the Guardian or something. Anyway,
you're all over the place, Rex. The point is viewership was down. Liverpool winning the league last year, we saw a considerable amount, a significant amount, a dangerous amount of dropped viewership. What everybody wants, right? When you got the likes of Chelsea, Tottenham, Arsenal, United, City, like, we all want the league to be going like this. We all want viewership to be going like this. We all want an increase in business. Liverpool last season, we saw a decline in that business. And I want to emphasize this because obviously Liverpool are media darlings. They're not going to talk about that. They're going to want to dress everything up and have different discussions, different conversations. On CIA, I wanted to make sure we had that conversation. We saw 17% in viewership dropped, and we saw 10% viewership drop. One was on TNT, one was on Sky Sports. These aren't small platforms. These are significant numbers.
So where's the 17? Where's the 17%? Is that like global? Or because I'm looking at the BBC. The BBC says 10% Sky and TNT.
It's 17%, I believe, based off of Sky, and it's 10% on TNT, if I remember correctly. But the point is, and this is what Rax wants to do. He wants to go, well, where is this happening? The point is, it's happening. And City, we need to get back to our level. The league needs us. The league needs City to be at its top.
Finally, we get, after all that waffle, finally we get down to the nub of the matter.
Well, it wasn't waffle.
The Premier League leads City. Is that what we're saying?
Well, the last 4 seasons in particular, City have been in title contention. City actually won the league. The one season that City aren't in the mix. They're not even properly challenging, right? We can all say that City fell off last season. 1-13. We all know the poor performance. We're accurate when we deal with facts. We want to take emotions out of it. When City dropped off, the league viewership dropped off. So we need City back.
Oh my God! No! Yo, come on, bro. Let's be serious, please. Let's be serious.
Let him carry on.
What's your cause and effect, Ahmed? Ahmed, what do you think the cause and effect is?
All right, guys.
I'll give you a bunch of
it gets better. Guys, it gets better. Do you know what the title to his previous video before that was? The newest 115. by the way. It's not 115. It's this is great content, guys. You guys got to go check it out. Beta Games TV. I'm gonna put the link in the description. The other title to his video, Rack, is directed shot at Liverpool fans. City prefer to buy 3 players versus 1 for 130 million.
Oh, that's accurate.
Okay. Where's your background? Where's your background? Where's your background, Bale? I need the background, man. Bane's got a nice little background, you know. He's got Wirtz on one side, and then he's got like 3 other players. Like, I want to see that for you, man.
Yeah, turn down the bass and the volume and take those shots again.
Yeah, man.
Listen, all right.
Let's see the new background there, man. Let's see the new background. I know you got that.
Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is
Games. Is this what you want, Ahmed? Is this what you're talking about?
This is what you're talking about, man. Yeah,
this is what we're talking about. All
That's
right.
what we're talking about, man. Yes, there we go.
No expense spared. No expense spared on Vader's setup, though.
Now, you know what? I make sure to take full advantage of the 115. All right. If I'm going to be accused of the 115, I'm going to apply it properly. All right. And all those brown envelopes. So yeah, we had this. We talked about that for a little bit. We talked about more than that. And what's funny is, please subscribe if you haven't already. Let me get to those. Let me get to that 1K mark. But we've got this show. We had CIA panel show. It's all factual, guys. There's no gaslighting. It's not being extra. It's a point to really look at and understand when you have a club. And Liverpool have been doing this for years. This is the funny thing. Liverpool have been doing this for years, but now that City's doing it, they want to kind of spin it and do a different kind of, they want to do a different kind of remix. We are getting
they are
3
good, man.
for the price of 1. Where Liverpool were doing that, right? They didn't got hey, Ahmed, you remember this? They didn't get Caicedo, so they got McAllister, they got Gravenberch, you know, they got Endo, right? They made the most of an opportunity. City are doing the same thing, and we needed a considerable rebuild. So I don't know. I honestly don't know if we spent this. What did they spend the number to? 116? It's only 116, right?
Yeah, it's more than Caicedo now, man. Transfer now.
Easy.
Good transfer now.
It's £100 million guaranteed with £16.5 million.
Yeah, Caicedo.
Okay.
Caicedo was 130 plus 50 million add-ons. So you've broken the.
You know, that's
and you know what? Listen, give me those add-ons. I will gladly pay those add-ons. These add-ons, take my money. Take my money.
Wow.
You know why? Because that means we're going to win the Premier League, we're going to win the Champions League, he's going to win the Ballon d'Or, we're going to win the fucking lot. Take my money.
Somebody clipped that.
This is actually crazy.
That was amazing. Do you want to say that again?
No.
Anyways,
it's a one time only. I can't just come up with this stuff for spontaneous ago.
1 second. You would rather Liverpool spend the money necessary to get a player like Florian Wirtz rather than reinvest that money over 3 positions?
Look, everybody has done a bit of both of this over the years, right? And how far do you want to go back when people say, okay, yeah, Liverpool have got Florian Wirtz is going to be the most expensive signing? We also had bloody Stan Collymore back in the day. You probably don't even know who Stan Collymore is ago. Like we've broken the British transfer record before, right? Ultimately, what happens is the amount of money you spend over the whole of your squad. There have been times when City have spent very shrewdly, and there's times when City have broken the bank. You could call this a Jack Grealish-esque transfer, right? But if no one wants to create this, then we compare this with Jack Grealish, right? Because Jack Grealish was £100 million. I'll leave you guys to decide how successful or not that was. Ultimately, if he turns out to be a success, no one will care, because we will also buy smaller players for like 20 million, 30 million, 40 million. We'll sell some players here or there. In the same way that City have been successful in recent years. Steve Vader, I'm giving you some credit. They've sold very well.
No, you only give me credit when it suits you.
You know something?
No.
You only give me credit when it suits your agenda.
It's like, oh, now you want to give me credit.
Exactly.
I searched up. Listen to this. I searched up Stan Collymore. He joined Liverpool in '95, bro. You were watching transfer news in '95, like?
Yeah.
No, I was watching football in 1995. Yes,
bro.
Some of us just have really nice Ole regimes.
8.5 million. Before that, I think it was Andy Cole who had the record, 7 million when he went from Newcastle to Man United.
You look very young. You look very young.
That's what I'm saying.
As for Stan Collymore, he told Liverpool fans reacting to Trent Alexander-Arnold's Spanish press conference to move on and leave him alone.
They should move on. They should move on. He's not your player anymore. You called him a rat. You've got like I saw them calling Pep Linda's a rat. Everyone's a rat.
Everyone's a rat, man. Everyone's a snake.
Bro, the man stood up there and spoke fluent Spanish. Like he definitely was on.
You know what? I don't. Listen, I'm not trying to be pessimistic in general. I don't know how fluent that Spanish was, just because he had 5 sentences or 4 sentences he had to memorize.
Yeah. Bro,
like, don't get me wrong.
No. Don't
don't get me wrong. Somebody intonation
was running like Hulkamania. When they heard him speaking Spanish.
He's definitely been studying Spanish. I'll give him that. And some of the intonation was there. I'll give him that. But until I see him off the cuff responding back and forth, then I can say he's fluent.
You know something? I think you're hating because
I'm not hating.
I'm currently in the process of learning Arabic, and I'm telling you, for the last
I speak Italian.
Target neutralized.
I'm still unable to speak as
I learned to speak Italian. I learned to speak Italian at university.
Yeah.
That was a one-way statement. It wasn't a conversation. You don't actually know how much he understands and whether he can respond to what he understands.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. I mean,
listen,
all I'm gonna say, man, hey, man,
it sounded good, but I'm
Duolingo Premium, you know what I mean? He's been taking full advantage of
the thing is, everyone is a hypocrite. Yeah, I get it. We're all because
I agree.
If someone wants to talk to me about Sol Campbell, I'll be like, well, it's because he went to Arsenal. But maybe it's because he ran his contract down for free. With Liverpool and Trent, I kind of like look at the club and say you should have forced the issue a little bit. But Gal's there poking it. I was rubbing Van Persie. Because the thing is, it's like
Wallahi, Robin Van Persie made the right move.
All as fans.
Wallahi, Robin Van Persie made the right move.
Yeah, but everyone's still. You still hate him. You still hate him.
Made the right move.
I'm not saying Trent made a mistake, but
if we don't start winning now, a lot of these guys could be leaving the same way.
Wow, I can't believe I've heard a girl say that, man.
RVP made the right move going to United.
Yes.
I can't believe I've never heard Arsenal fans say that to you before. You know,
Ashley Cole, although he chased money, the club lied to him.
That's not true. Listen. This is because he didn't want to pay him.
The club lied to him. The club told him one figure and then put another figure in front of his agent.
David Dean apologized for it afterwards. In recent years, he's come out and said,
so I'm not gonna lie to you. I love this club, but they've fucked around too many times. Some of these players were right to do the decisions that they've made. As much as our fan base can hate on him, obviously we're not going to hate on him as much as Sol Campbell.
Nasri as well.
Nasri, it's a situation.
Adebayor.
Now you're going too far. Adebayor got kicked out of the club for a transfer fee, but the way that he reacted afterwards.
Out the club. Nah, he has to leave.
He has to leave, man. He said, "Get me out."
Adebayor got forced out of the club. He didn't want to leave. And
what about Sanya then? What about Sanya? Talk to you about him. He wanted to say
at that point we became a selling club. What can I do?
Well, talk to me about Polo.
Okay, now you guys are taking the piss. Let's go to City though. One more thing before we go on to Spurs, and then we're gonna start the Club World Cup talk. Bro, is it me or your squad depth is ridiculous? I seen your Club World Cup squad, and I'm not gonna lie to you. How many wingers do you need? You have 10 wingers. How many midfielders do you need? You have like 8 midfielders. How many players do you need for 3 positions? Because I'm looking at it right now. You have 2 forwards. You have wingers / midfielders. You have 10. No, you have more than 10. You have 13 midfielders. 13 midfielders / wingers. And then you have defenders. Quality, I rate it. But this is a ridiculous squad depth list. You must have learned. Like, I don't know what's going on, but this is ridiculous. Like,
it's not ridiculous. I don't like, honestly.
How many of these guys are leaving? Because this is crazy.
So myself and Ahmed, we're gonna have to educate you guys on the panel because you guys aren't familiar with this Club World Cup. When you're taking a squad, right, Ahmed? When you're taking a squad and you're able to represent England and go to the Club World Cup, you got to go prepared.
Yeah,
We've got numerous competitions throughout the season. Me and my blue brother, we're gonna be competing for all trophies this season. We have to travel with the squad. So when you put this,
will you be? Oh, okay. You say so. Let's see.
Yeah, we're going to be competing for all trophies. That's the attempt every season, right? We don't make excuses. When it comes down to the squad and the size, we've got these 3 keepers, and look at the defenders that we have, and we've got to take this. We've got to take this because this is our preseason. This is our preseason to get ready for what's coming up and the trophies that we're going to play for, and we got to be prepared, right? The luxury that the clubs like Rax, like Jay, like Igal. You guys are home. You guys can focus on the transfer window. You can focus on training. We don't have that luxury. So we got to bring this squad. The defenders.
How many are you going to sell? That's what I want to know.
I can't even answer that right now because, again, we got the Club World Cup to really assess these players, to really see how Pep's going to want to play, right? So we've got to treat it that way. The midfielders and wingers that you mentioned, yeah, that's an amazing laundry list because of the transfer window that we just happen to have. But we left some significant people at home. There's no James McAtee. There's no Jack Grealish, right? We've had to leave some players behind.
Liverpool won this in 2019. Why are you educating them? That's what they're saying.
Well, let me educate the people that are tuning in for the first time because it's now 2025. We can talk about 2019 if you want to do a historic channel, but we're talking 2025.
And also, man, you know, it seems that 2019 Club World Cup didn't lead to anything, did it? Because you're not in the World Cup.
Yo, Jay,
when you buy 3 players for 115 million instead of going for quality, that's what happens, right? You end up with a bloated squad. What can I say?
You said when you buy 3 players and you don't go for quality, is that what you just said?
Yeah.
So your opinion is City didn't go for quality?
Nah.
Okay.
All right.
Hold on. Oh, you got 1 second. 1 second.
I like this rack.
The fact that Rax believes that the 3 signings that City made for the price of Wirtz, he doesn't believe they're of quality. Best believe when we're looking at how these players perform throughout the season and who does what for the price tag, let's see where the quality is. Because in my humble opinion, I have not seen 100 million plus player deliver that quality in their first season.
Well, I mean, you haven't seen 100 million player deliver that quality ever, right? The Jack Grealish is your only 100 million pound player.
Yeah, he's my only, absolutely.
Why?
Who has more than one?
No,
other than Chelsea.
But I'm saying, yeah. But what I'm saying is that the one that you didn't see him deliver quality at all, right?
No, I would never say that I didn't see quality from Jack Grealish. You'd never hear that from me. But the interesting thing is, which the Liverpool and Liverpool darlings will always emphasize, I paid a release clause. This was not a transfer fee. This was not bringing in on a player. I paid a release clause to another club in the English league that helped with their football pyramid, that now has Aston Villa competing the way they weren't able to in previous seasons. Jack is very different from Wirtz if we're going to talk about what was spent and where.
You know something?
Well, I don't understand that.
You don't know the difference between a release clause, Rax?
No, I do, but I mean, I don't understand. I don't know why we should be praising City for spending 100 million.
No one's asking for praise. No, see, now you're doing too much. No one's asking for praise. No one's asking for praise.
I mean, you're celebrating it. I don't know why you're celebrating it. If you're
celebrating it, I'm pointing out a distinction because you want to emphasize.
You said they took that money and because you're so benevolent in paying the 100 million pounds, therefore they were able to invest that money and they were able to challenge the top 4. And then
you know what's funny? You got 1 second. No, one second.
I want to put up the comments.
No. Rax is trying to get away with some shots being fired. What's funny is when they are buying players on the cheap or efficiently. Oh, look at how Liverpool do it. Look at their football model. Oh, they're right for the sport. Now it happens to be role reversal. Now the big bad boogeyman, the big bad wolf in City happened to do it. Now they're doing it the wrong way. oh, let's point the faults in City getting 3 players for the price of 1. But when Liverpool are doing it, oh, let's praise it. Now,
uncomfortable conversations.
absolutely.
You know what it is. Ultimately, it's about quality, right? I think City in the past have recruited very well and have got decent value for money from the side. Nobody can say that Haaland, for the money you paid for him, even though that was also a release clause, and you know that was a
We
pre-arranged.
paid 51 for Haaland. What are we doing here?
No, I know, but no, I'm praising you for that.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Raiders never DJ'd, right? The Raiders never DJ'd because that's all off. That's all about 1 second too late. Anyway,
there's a time delay.
Exactly. You got to take that into account. If you're a DJ, you don't know.
Is that better?
Even then, he was like,
I think it's your internet. I think it's your internet. There's
all right, guys. We gotta save some time to talk about Spurs.
But all I'm.
Hey, Miguel, just so you know, Rax is not getting the last word.
One more thing.
Rax is not getting the last word.
Guys, 1 second.
You're not getting the last word, Rax.
City's recent transfer business, I think I've got a right to question it. I don't know whether
I'll
all of that
question
is
you right
quality.
afterwards.
All right.
You can do that. I don't mind being questioned.
Now, Igal, here's the funny. I just want to emphasize this.
Spurs hijack Man United. Okay, I'll change the title.
City and what they're doing in this business required a proper rebuild, right? We have some players that have aged out. Look at the performance from last season. We had the great Kevin De Bruyne. He's now left, right?
Amazing, great player.
We are not fixing what happened last season with one player. Now, Rax wants to talk about past seasons. We bought quality. We've always bought quality, always. To say that this is the one season where we're now investing in players and this isn't a quality season is very convenient. It's very convenient for Rax to want to say that this year when we're trying to do this. This is reminding me a lot of what we did when Pep had that faulty first season and he went in and invested big. And it's also reminding me of the season where we went and we got Haaland, Alvarez, Ortega, and Akanji. We went and got a lot of players. And many questioned the players that we got then. So Rax can question it now. He's been wrong before. Rax will admit there was a season where
I have, and if I'm wrong again, and City, all these players gel and they romp.
No. Now you're doing too much. No one's expecting every player to gel, Rax. No one's expecting every player to gel.
But the team. Ultimately, it's all about the team, right? I don't care. Yeah. You shouldn't care either whether every individual player. All you care is that the players maximize their potential and ultimately, hopefully, for you, they win the league, right?
Absolutely.
What I'm saying is that I think City's recent recruitment has been highly questionable. There have been good players, yes, but there have been some shocking players or players who haven't lived up to the potential that people expected.
I think highly questionable is a bit harsh. I think questionable.
Questionable. Okay. I'll moderate my language. I'll take Jay. Thank you. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll say questionable. That's better. That was
we haven't had any Darwin Nunez misses as of yet.
All right.
We've been good with
1 second. Okay, guys. This is the perfect timing. This is the perfect timing for my comment of the day. This was my comment of the day on Twitter. Somebody put Jack Grealish alcoholism.
How is this the perfect timing for this?
Jack Grealish's alcoholism made Pep sign Muslims. He had enough.
Oh my God! What is this, bro?
Jack Grealish was the biggest flop in Manchester City, and for you to say he's Darwin Núñez, Jack Grealish is 10 times worse than Darwin Núñez.
Are you crazy?
How's
he 10 times worse than Darwin Núñez?
Jack Grealish.
Hold on. Can I just?
Save him. Jay, save him, please. Save him.
No, hold on. I want to be clear on this. Yeah. Looking at hold on, because I want because when I say it, people will, when I say it, people will pause for a second and then they'll deep it and they'll be like,
Target neutralized.
Doku, Savinho, have they been objectively better in their times at City than Núñez has been at Liverpool?
No.
Savinho's been here for one season. If you want to compare, if you want to say one,
the overall quality, not the time length. I'm just talking about the quality of the performances and what they've contributed. Have they been objectively better than Núñez? I'm going to say no.
Well, I'm also going to point this out because the role of those players, right? The emphasis and need of those players versus a number 9, a focal point, a goal scorer, the price tag, I would say yes.
Okay.
Can we run through the City's transfers recently? Look, I haven't seen Reinders play very much. I take my knowledge from Ahmed. Ahmed, you know better than I do about how Reinders plays.
Hold on.
Okay.
You want to talk about the wait? Hold on, Rack. You're talking
How
about
much
players.
last summer? Is this true?
Since
What?
last summer.
Yeah, it is. But look, the 4 players they've signed now haven't even played a game, so it's also not fair, right? Like, and also,
I've actually got that out, guys. So peace and blessings, bro.
Oh wait, bro! I wanted
don't-
your input on the Club World Cup.
Go ahead, go on.
Guys, okay, quickly, let's just do this because Ahmed's got to go. I wanted your input on the Club World Cup. I literally was going to do this section, but sorry, Jay, we're going to have to wait for Spurs right after this. He's got to go. Club World Cup introduction. Where's Chelsea going to finish in their group?
First, because it's that easy.
Who else do you rate from this group?
I think Flamengo probably will finish second, I'll be honest.
Flamingo. And then
Yeah.
do you know
LAFC and then Tunis will finish last.
All right. What are you guys saying? Porto finishes top of this group with Miami and Palmeiras?
I think it will be Porto and Al Ahly, you know.
What are you guys saying? Everyone can
Yeah,
input.
I think Porto won.
I think Porto win and I think Al Ahly will be second, I'll be honest, bro.
What about Messi? Inter Milan.
No, listen.
They're going to shoot for Messi.
The team's on a massive losing streak, now.
Al Ahly.
I think Al Ahly will do it, man.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah, I think it'll be PSG, AC Milan. It'll be in that order. PSG, AC Milan.
Third, I think.
Why is your voice robotic now all of a sudden?
Who? Me?
Vader.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
you there, man.
See, he's got his soundbox thing messed up now. Now it's all like.
All right, Jay. Objectively speaking, do you think PSG and Atletico Madrid, either of them, could drop out for Seattle Sounders or any of these guys?
I'm not. I think obviously the European team should be good, but like I'm not going to
It's still messed
underestimate
up.
the fact that
Yes.
like the international teams are gonna like this is a big moment for them. So I do expect to see some shocks in the tournament. I don't know who's going to receive the shocks, but I mean,
All right, I'm gonna get back to the super chats in a second, but let's just quickly go through the rest of this because Ahmed's got to go. Next, do you guys think Bayern's just gonna walk this group with Benfica, Boca Juniors, and whoever?
It's a bit different. I don't know these teams. Like I don't really know how good they are or the players.
Boca Juniors will be competitive with Benfica, I'm honest.
Okay, this is probably like River Plate Inter. I think River Plate could give Inter a run for their money. What do you guys think?
I have no idea. I'm just gonna.
I think it'll be Inter River Plate. I think it'll be Inter.
I'm gonna go with the team that just played the Champions League final. I'm gonna go with them.
Red Diamonds are very competitive too, but right, don't underestimate the Japanese team.
Fluminense and Dortmund.
Dortmund will be faster.
Nah, yeah, switch that.
Yeah.
Man City top of their group. Juventus.
Juve second.
Thank you.
You got a tough group.
We do.
Al-Ain is not too bad to be honest. You know,
We're gonna be battle tested out of this group.
Yeah.
Oh, your voice is robotic. Can you jump out, jump back in? Maybe that'll help.
The 115 charges came in.
This is the toughest group. Al Hilal, Real Madrid. What do you call it? RB Salzburg.
Yeah, I want to switch from Madrid to Al Ahly though. Oh yeah, no, sorry.
Al Hilal, no.
Yeah, sorry, my apologies.
All right.
How did Salzburg get in there, by the way? What? How did FC Salzburg get in there? I don't realize that right now, by the way.
I don't know.
This whole situation is crazy.
How the hell did RB Salzburg get in there? Isn't RB Leipzig also in the Club World Cup?
No, because I think isn't 2 clubs from the big league. So I guess Dortmund and Bayern Munich.
Can we check? Is that RB Salzburg for sure? If we just take another Salzburg that we're not aware of.
Is that Salzburg? Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Coefficient. I don't know how. But hey, let's go to the next phase. Knockout rounds. So we picked the knockout rounds now. So Porto, Atletico Madrid. Jay, what you saying?
ATM, baby.
Atletico.
Rack. Bayern. Flamingo is that
Bayern flamenco?
Yeah. So we're not saying any upsets. What are you saying, Ahmed?
Inter.
Inter. We're very European dominant. Vader, can you be unbiased for a second? Man City versus Al Hilal. Do you think they give you any run for your money?
Yeah, I think it'll be a tough game. But I think we still get the result.
Liar, bro. Why you lying?
I'm not lying. This is a Club World Cup. Don't disrespect
more
it.
robotic.
Is it still robotic? I have no idea. I don't know what's going on here.
That's what you get for doing all those all those sound effects. Like
Yeah. Look at him.
Before you cried wolf.
He got his wires crossed, quite literally.
PSG are gonna be Al Ahly. Chelsea play Benfica. Benfica could give you a run for your money, no?
We cooking Benfica, bro. Chelsea.
Benfica could calmly.
You see, Gal, before you even finish asking the question, he already put the cursor straight on Benfica. Did you see that?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Dortmund versus River Plate. Surely one of these teams outside of Europe has.
You know what? I think River Plate will give them a run for the money.
And then Real Madrid's gonna beat Juventus.
Yep.
Sure. Okay. River Plate, Real Madrid. Chelsea, PSG. Sorry, Chelsea are out. Inter, Man City.
Man City, they're gonna be broken, bro. The City will beat them. I promise you.
You think so?
Yeah, City will beat them, bro.
All right. Vader, Jay, what are you guys saying? Bayern or Atletico Madrid?
Atletico.
Yeah,
Bayern have been better though.
Bayern
have got a perfect counter to Bayern. Atletico have got a perfect counter to Bayern.
Hold on. But I
Darwin Núñez. Darwin Núñez will join the Bayern at this point.
I follow Bayern quite a lot, like from when Kane went, and they've like centre back wise, they're kind of messed up. Like they've got like Kim's kind of injured, Ito's out for ages, Upamecano's only just coming back. Like their defense isn't going to hold up in this tournament. Like it won't. And obviously Sane's going to dip halfway through the tournament too. That Sane will dip for this game. So yeah, I think I can see Atletico actually winning this, like kind of doing a little something. But carry on.
All right. Atletico Madrid, Manchester City. Guys, now that Vader's not here, you can give your raw, unfiltered opinions.
I don't know how good the players are. Like I think City's players, when you look at them on paper, you're like, oh, this is a good collection of players. And on the other side, it's like, I don't know how good they are. But when I watch PSG and how PSG put their squad together, they put it together in a broadly similar way. But then I'm like, I was like, oh, but they didn't buy like but they did buy Vitinha, and it was like, so it's like, if Hugo Viana is good at his job, he's probably assembled a good batch of players.
All right. So you're saying Chelsea? Sorry, why did I say Chelsea? Man City.
Sorry,
Jay, are you coming to the conclusion that Atletico Madrid are going to win?
I don't know. Like it's very difficult. It's very difficult to predict something when I've not seen it. I'll go with Atletico for cohesion purposes, because like they'll have been playing.
Everyone agree?
Atletico, yes. I actually agree with Atletico.
Yeah. You saying Rack?
Yeah. Just to piss Vader off. Yeah.
What you did.
Champions League finalists and winners.
PSG wipe the floor with Real Madrid. I can't wait. I can't wait, man. I can't wait.
It's Xabi Alonso's Real Madrid.
You know what? This could be interesting. It could be. Let's go PSG.
All right.
I can't wait for that game.
Are we basically just saying all of this was done for nothing because at the end of the day,
breaking news apparently, according to Saudi sources Al Hilal have officially reached an agreement with Michael Edwards to appoint him as the club's next sporting director.
What?
Yes, I'm gonna put the link in there for you.
This is not true.
All right. No. Just before we go there, quickly, let's finish off. PSG beat Atletico Madrid in the final.
Yes.
Everyone agrees?
Yeah.
All right. Let's go to what the hell was that? Let's go to what the hell? Did I close it? Yeah, I closed it. Let's go to let's go to what's going on with Michael Edwards. Are you serious, bro?
I'm being serious, bro. That's what's been reported from this from apparently like a Saudi source right now.
Can you send it to me on Twitter?
Yeah, so I'll send it to you private chat, bro.
It's in the private chat.
Yeah.
No,
Can't believe it.
No way. Are you gonna stay for this? Because I was literally about to.
I might have to, man. I might have to stay for this, bro.
Hey, you gotta go. All right. Where is it? So Vader basically stayed and talked about. Oh no way! This is real. Is this account real? Can we trust this account, Blue Co?
Oh,
Yeah, he's even put the source in there for you, which is on that.
You can't trust it. Like,
and then if you press the source,
the source has 1 million followers on Twitter.
Okay, but you go. Apparently, there's someone's printing some stuff in Arabic. They still think Michael Edwards is unemployed. He's been back at the club over a year.
Well, who said that?
There's a thing here. It's in Arabic, so you mind you even say you're learning Arabic, but
isn't there a translation?
No.
All right. So yeah,
Rax is like, no.
Later. In case you don't know,
What can I say?
There's no words that I want
You know
to
what?
say.
There is a translation. I'm going to translate for you. Michael Edwards has declared that he is staying in Liverpool for the foreseeable future. He's not interested in going to Saudi Arabia. Thank you very much. Premier League champions.
You only just got him back, and he's already headed away. That's crazy. Oh, guys, stop 1 second. Look at this. Can you see that? Ben Jacobs back May 20th talking about Al Hilal approaching Michael Edwards for a CEO football role. Edwards is eager despite being being content at FSG. Surprised if he left, but they want him.
You know what the thing is? You got when you got good people, other people want them. City have been facing this for many years, especially with regards to players.
Everything's about City. I love it.
Well, we got
to use examples around us, right? So when you got good people are going to want them. So, and this is where I was going to bring it back. Pep Linders, who's getting bashed, right? He's getting discredited by Liverpool fans. They all want to say that what he meant to the club actually was nothing. So you're gonna talk out of both sides of your mouth. I think there's a reason why we want Pep Linders. I think there's a reason why they're gonna want Edwards. So where there's smoke, there's usually fire.
As a person who thinks Liverpool are run very well, I don't think this will change them too much. Even if they lose Michael Edwards.
How do you feel about this, man? If this is like that's legit.
If it's true, then it's bad news. But if the structure is there, then I'm not so worried. I think the fact that we've got Richard Hughes, we've got what's his name, the guy Julian Ward, and all these guys who are kind of behind. Yeah, Julian Ward. Well, he was our former director. Oh my god, we're getting it. This is Gal's tweet. This is his thought process, live and direct.
Hey, it's like that.
I actually have to go now, though.
Go with the chimpanzee.
Okay, yeah. Gal, this is Gal engagement farming, live and direct.
I didn't know I was live.
Did my voice am I still robotic?
We can hear you better now.
You're good.
Guys, before we go any further, please do hit that like button. Let's read some of the super chats. Shout out to Football Knowledge. Says Man City spent 373 million euros plus, 0.70 million euros since last summer. That is ridiculous. But hey, the closest next to them has spent only 160
I'm going to defend City, Breda. See, I do defend. Because people always take these windows and these periods of time, and they use that to change the narrative. If you would have taken this year out, this summer out, right, and you said from last summer and the previous 3 years, how much the City spent, they would have spent very little. So, you can take these things, and then if you make those windows smaller and larger to suit your point, we can all do that. So
Marcos is also right. He says City, if they sign Florian Wirtz and Liverpool got Cherki and Reinders, you'd be saying we're cheap and have no pull.
The thing is, I don't think.
And 100 million spent, and people question Florian Wirtz. It's true. I agree.
No, it's not true.
People draw parallels between Wirtz and Cherki. Honestly, I think only one of those players has got a world-class body of work. And so
Oh, yeah.
I don't. They play in the same position, but I think that so far, and look, if Turkey comes next season and he turns it on and he becomes, and he does it at the top level, then I will say I was wrong. But
Yeah.
I'm not going to give people credit until they've proven it. And if he
No.
does come and prove it, then I'll say I'm sorry.
What
my-
Shirky has the chance of doing is he can be, so I can make this make sense for Marcos and other Liverpool fans. He can be our McAllister. That's what he can end up being, right? So the price tag for McAllister was very inexpensive in a summer of a lot of big signings, right? But
Correct.
I'm hearing some Liverpool fans that are saying McAllister's borderline world class. So if I can get Shirky to perform obviously above that price tag, and if he's performing in comparison close to or maybe even equal to Wirtz and that price tag, this conversation is going to be
and at that point I will give him all the credit in the world.
Yeah,
because even when we signed McAllister, I think Liverpool fans thought, oh, he's 35 million, because people were talking about him in the 60 million range at that point, and we got to 35 million. Everyone thought it was a good deal, but I still didn't know how good he was going to be.
Yeah.
And then he ended up being as good as he is, and that's why everyone's giving him praise, and that's why we're getting praise as well. I will give Turkey, I will give Reinders, I will give all these guys praise if they turn up next season and they do it and City are successful. I'm not going to be an idiot and say no, they're still shit. That would be ridiculous.
My expectations for Shirky is nowhere near 100 million. Like, that's not how I'm looking at this player. So it's going to be with different lenses. It's going to be with different expectations. But best believe, just the way we all are in terms of this football banter, in terms of how these conversations go, in terms of how the algorithm's going to work, because we know how the YouTube algorithm's going to go. It's going to be Turkey compared to Wirtz for the majority of the season.
And also the other thing is, City is spending all this money, and the whole, like, we're signing 3 players for the same price, because obviously we have won the league this season, and City are in the process of a massive rebuild. It's very difficult. You can't spend £100 million on each player if you want to do a quick rebuild, like what City is trying to do. City went in a crazy situation where they had a number of key players fall off. Right
We're trying to do. Liverpool did a madness in terms of midfielder signings, last season. It was last season, right? So
the season before,
like Klopp's last season. So they went out and they got Szoboszlai, they got Endo, they got Gravenberch, right? Am I missing anyone in the midfield?
And McAllister.
And McAllister. So that's a lot of players in one window, and we're trying to do the same thing. We're trying to do it a little. We're obviously
you're trying to do more. You're trying to do more because you also got defenders that you need to bring in, or defenders that you've brought in like only 6 months ago, like the young Russian kid.
But we also don't have the luxury of the season before, where you guys spent a lot in attacking players. You got Luis Diaz, you got Darwin Núñez. You guys don't want to talk about. So and then you got Gakpo, right? So you guys did it in phases, and we're trying to do it in.
I love the City Liverpool talk between Deft and spending 150 million. But let's let Jay talk about his club and the situation going on, because usually
are Spurs really suing Man United? What is it? I don't even know
Spurs are
anything about
suing
this.
Man United.
Why?
We're not suing Man United.
They're suing
Ineos.
Why?
Like, we have a
We're suing
contract
Sir Jim.
Yeah. We have a contract with them, and they're
not
trying to
honoring
get out of the contract. So it's less sensational that
2 years early. 2 years early.
Yeah, so
you got to pay. You got to pay the money, man. You signed a contract, pay the money, Jim. What's wrong with you?
That's what I'm trying to say, man. The guys.
Jim doesn't like to pay the money.
You can't plead poverty when you're the richest man in England. What's going on?
Well, exactly.
Saying Man United are going to go bankrupt and all this kind of nonsense.
He's a stingy guy, but new manager. Let's see what.
I thought Levy was bad.
Yeah, bro, it's gonna be interesting. Like, I like the fact that Ange's work now is he's a martyr. It's solidified. Everything, like, what will be. Everything will be compared. It exists in a bubble. It's like, it's perfect. He's
mythical. He's actually mythical.
Is that the right term to use?
What do you mean? I
always thought martyrs were like more related to war and like.
Well, I mean, does he still have a job?
It's sacrifice. It's loss.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? So he's I look at it like now we're moving forward, and it's an interesting one with the expectation. Like, what do I expect next season from Frank and Spurs? It's an interesting one. It really depends. Like, I think he's bringing over a lot of coaches. You see that still bit coaches, analysts. Like, so we got to believe. Like, we have got a lot of good players. We got better players than people think. Like, much better players than people think.
What do you think about Romero's situation?
I think Romero.
By the way,
really,
tell the people who
really
don't know.
like.
Tell us what the situation is.
Right. So basically, when Thomas Frank got announced, Romero posted a farewell message to Ange. So basically, all this time he hasn't posted a message. He hasn't said anything. And like within 15 minutes of when Frank was announced, he posted a message about Ange. And in the message, he's like, that you did as well as you could because of the way things the way things are here, and they've always been. So it was like a dig at the board as well. Yeah. So I really didn't mind I don't really mind when the players say anything really. I kind of am a little bit annoyed when it's shots at the club because I'm club first always. But I get it sometimes. The timing really annoyed me, like, because it's like it took the shine. He's a captain as well. It took the shine a little bit off. And that's what a lot of fans were talking about that yesterday, rather than Frank being announced as the new manager. But on the other side, he's a very good defender who is worth 70 million. So it's a case of him he can get that out of his system before the season starts. Frank's meant to be a good man manager. I trust him to sort it out. We aren't going to sell him on the cheap just because he bitches on Instagram. So, it is what it is.
Did I hear you say you trust Frank?
Thomas Frank. Yeah, I trust him. I think
he trusts.
Never trust a man with two first names.
Well, that's what they say, but like the thing with I heard that Frank was very close to Liverpool as well. That's what they say. Like when I was
the funny thing is,
he's a good manager.
I have two last names. What about me?
Okay.
I guess you're very trusted.
That's just strange. That's it. We're gonna have to keep an eye on you.
Technically, both of my names are usually surnames.
Okay, well that's lazy naming. No offense to your parents. They're lovely people, but lazy naming.
Hey, the way people get named is different in different cultures.
Hey, that's fine. That's fine, man. That's fine.
I named my son after my dad.
But just on Frank, I don't really know what to expect. But first major game is going to be we play Arsenal actually in preseason, which will be interesting.
Nice.
But we've obviously got the PSG Super Cup game, which is going to be
huge.
It's a really nice game for him because it's kind of a free hit. If he wins straight away, it's like he's won a trophy. It really, like, just even if it's tongue in cheek, it takes a lot of sting out of a lot of stuff. Do you know what I mean? So it gives him a lot. But obviously, and I think we've got a good chance actually. Not like a great chance, but I think having watched Villa play PSG and how they played them in that game, I'm like, we can definitely do a like how they played them in the second leg. We could easily replicate that game model. Like,
you're getting slapped, bro.
You want signings? You want signings before that, obviously.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. What do you mean, Igal? Listen, first and foremost, like we're playing in the European Super Cup because we won the Europa League. So the game, and let us show you how it's done. You who lost both of your final, you lost both legs, like, you know what I mean. So we'll show you how it's done. When we play PSG, do you know what I mean? We'll show England how it's done. Considering England, all of us kept rolling off the cliff like lemons.
Let's get to the actual. Is that a whip? What the hell? Let's get to the actual main topic of discussion around Spurs today, which is what the hell? Inter's for sale?
Why
yes,
do you say that?
Inter have always
What's
been
your
the same.
timeline, Ego? What's on your timeline?
Bro,
Like, do you know what I mean? Like-
I just seen Mo celebrating the Inter's for sale. I'm like, holy shit. Let's get back to Spurs though. Yeah, there's my timeline is a mess, guys. My timeline is full of friggin' war talk, football talk, and like some Toronto stuff about Drake. It's crazy. But Tottenham stepped up their interest in Brian Mbeumo. Sky Sports have reported that you are going to make a bid exceeding 60 million for Brian Mbeumo, overtaking Manchester United. And now that you have Thomas Frank there, apparently he's willing to take less wages to join Tottenham.
Well, the thing, I don't. It's all speculation at the moment. I don't like to talk too much on speculation. I don't get excited.
No, you're gonna have to talk about
That's
it.
90% of transfers, bro.
No, but it's like, but even last summer, like the Archie Gray, the Solankis, like we like even Odobert, it was kind of just out of nowhere. So I don't know how much access they have to our sources, like or the players we're actually going in for. The names are all Premier League names.
You think it's lazy journalism? I want to get to the bottom.
Listen, I don't know. But it's not lazy journalism, but there's not.
You got to talk about it, Jay. You got to talk about it.
There's not a huge
because Jay, you can't be like the last segment of the show. Well, I think it's bullshit, and we're not going to talk about it.
No, I didn't say that. I'm saying like I said that basically.
It's all a load of nonsense. I'm off.
It's like, fuck this show. I'm gone.
Yes.
I'm gone for hour 30. I don't want to talk about it.
I was speechless. Like, but no.
See you bastards next week. I'm off.
Listen. Like,
we finally talk about Spurs. Now he's like, you know what?
Listen. Mbeumo would be a great signing. I think obviously that a few changes that would happen is I do think Brennan Johnson then potentially would move to the left wing. Yeah, and then it would be like Johnson, Solanke, and Mbeumo. And there's goals in that. That attack's got goals in it. Do you know what I mean? So that would be interesting.
Or you could just have squad depth and get another left winger.
But I'm saying, but Johnson scored 20 goals this season in all comps.
But surely you're gonna have enough games throughout the season to play both.
Yeah, I'm not doubting that. And obviously, Tell can still. If we get Tell again on loan and Mbeumo, that's good. That's decent. Like it's
couldn't you get Wasta also?
No, we don't. We just need to decide what we're doing with Richard. What we need is talisman. Like we split the goals quite well amongst players, but we need somebody like we lack a Cole Palmer or something. Someone who can really grab the game by the scruff of the neck when you're not even playing that well. Maddison has his moments, but lacks that kind of consistency. So. I'm really looking forward to what Frank can do with these players, just from a pure coaching point of view. There's so many games last season that I was just like positioning and what the players are doing, and it'll be really interesting to see because I know the floor of this team is European champions. Do you know what I mean? That's the floor. Do you know what I mean? That's the floor. I mean, like I'm gonna say that's the floor. Like people are like, oh, the only way is up, but like we have a Europa League and we finished 17th. So this is the floor. Right. Yeah.
Hey, I'm just gonna ask you guys a quick question. The first game of the Club World Cup is at 1 a.m. UK time on Saturday night. Are you gonna be watching it?
1 o'clock on Saturday.
Saturday going into Sunday morning.
Who's playing?
Inter Miami versus some team. I forget.
Wow. Like today? Is it today?
Saturday.
Oh, Saturday going to Sunday. Okay.
Saturday going into Sunday.
Rat's reinforcing that he does know the days of the week.
Al Ahly versus Inter Miami, and it's confirmed that Messi will be playing the first game of the Club World Cup at 1 a.m. UK time.
I'm not watching Inter Miami versus Al Ahly at 1 a.m. in the morning.
Even if I'm awake, I've got better things to do.
Bro,
okay.
honestly.
Are you gonna Vader? The question is, it's beneficial to you because it's in your time zone. But are you going to be
Vader's like, you heard the first part. It's beneficial to you. Vader's like, what?
Yeah, respect.
Are you gonna watch it?
Time, bro. Respect.
Are you gonna watch it, Vader?
Am I gonna watch the Club World Cup?
Are you gonna watch all the games?
Into Miami versus Al Hilal or whoever it is?
No.
Are you gonna watch Montreal versus Inter at 2 a.m. UK time?
Nah, 2 a.m. UK time, so we're a 5-hour difference. That's calm for me. That's really calm. But I will not be watching any games other than City in the group stage, and then after that, yeah, you'll probably catch me watching a few.
Oh,
of the
see,
knockout stages.
Raiders taking his qualification
Man
into the
Man
knockout rounds
City-
for granted already.
Man City on June 23rd, 2 a.m. UK time. Is anybody going to watch that here in the UK? 2 a.m. UK time. Man City versus Al Ina.
No.
I don't expect Rax to watch it. I don't expect Jay to watch it.
I'm gonna tune in just to see if what's his face from Leon has a good debut.
Okay.
I can't even remember his name.
Next.
Rax, will you be watching any of the Real Madrid matches to see what used to be Trent Alexander?
I'm gonna watch PSG versus Madrid, and it's gonna be glorious. I'm sure of it.
I'm going to be watching Man City's first game. I'm going to be watching all the Premier League games and some of the other games. But I'm going to tell you guys right now, I don't know how many people are going to be staying up on a weekday to watch those 2 a.m., 1 a.m. games. But I hope and pray that the World Cup do not make any of those games past 9 p.m. LA time, because that is crazy. If they make these games past 7 p.m. Eastern time in America, if they make it past 7 a.m. Eastern time in America,
crazy.
That will be crazy for the people in Europe.
Okay.
Because that will be 12 o'clock. That'll be 12 o'clock.
Like, meh.
That'll be 12 a.m. kickoffs for people who have work the next day. It's going to be very difficult.
Listen, Igo, not only did I see Stan Collymore, I remember World Cup '94. There were games kicking off at 2 o'clock English time.
Yeah, but guess what? That time you were 5 years old. Your mom told you.
I was still watching him. I had a TV in my room.
Listen,
usually in room at 5.
Yeah. I don't know the exact age I was, but I had a TV in my room.
The football is the world's game, right? It's the world's game, and we're not just going to accommodate for the UK, right? It's the world's game. So this time
for Europe.
Yeah, for Europe. We're not just going to accommodate for Europe, right? So if it happens to be on this side of the world,
they will.
They will what?
They will accommodate to try to get the most viewing figures, because there's going to be games. England cannot play at 2 a.m. in the morning UK time.
Yeah, maybe not. With regards for the group stages, probably not. But when it comes down to the knockout stages, maybe there'll be a little more.
Germany versus Sweden cannot play at 7 p.m. LA time on a Tuesday. It just can't happen.
Okay.
Anyways, we're gonna wrap it up here, guys. You guys have yourselves a wonderful day. I think we've lost everyone's attention span by now. but one thing I will say, shout out to all the people watching. We got over 150 people watching on YouTube. We got over 800 people watching on Twitter. Over 1,000 people watching concurrently throughout the entire show. And we're gonna send you guys over to Saad. I want you guys to prank Saad and tell him Garnacho to Arsenal. Here we go.
But before you do that,
allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Peter.
Guys, go piss off Saad. Go piss off Saad and say Garnacho to Arsenal. Here we go. I just want to see him angry. Anyways, we're gonna go, people. Have a good day. Peace.